Welcome to Six Pack Cinema. On today's episode, we will be reviewing Spider-Man: Far From Home. Following the events of Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man must step up to take on new threats in a world that has changed forever. What a bland description. Thanks for tuning in.
You should review movies.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, I've had a couple, so movie review.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to Six Pack Cinema and hanging out with us for a little bit. We are going to review Spider-Man, and when I say we, I mean my co-hosts Sheehan and Dave, because I will be not reviewing this because I do not enjoy these movies that much, but I'm here to intro them in, and now I'm interested. Why does IMDb have a like that description can be said for any superhero movie ever? Must step up to take on new threats in a world that's changed. That could be any superhero movie.
Well, yeah, they kept it as bland as possible because that Endgame they knew was going to change everything, and they wanted to keep it as vague, so people didn't get any spoilers.
We saw the IMDb page for Spider-Man before Endgame came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I get
so
it. That makes sense.
timelines.
Because that's pretty weak. Pretty weak.
Oh, it's incredibly weak, and it's accurate yet incredibly vague.
Yeah. All right, well, if this is your first
accurate.
time ever listening to Six Pack Cinema on a movie review, which we do every single Monday, movies and sometimes Netflix series or other TV series, how it's going to work is Sheehan and Dave are going to discuss the movie, their gut instinct, then they're going to talk about what they liked, what they didn't like, what they would change, and they're going to rate it on a two-pronged scale. One is cinematic, which is just how good of a movie this is, try to keep everything. Expectations don't really play into that. It's just, hey, where does this land on a 1 through 100 scale? And then the other one is entertainment value, which a lot of these Marvel movies are really aiming for. None of them are really going to win awards, but we'll see.
You never know.
We'll see where Dave
Jimmy.
and Sheehan land. I'm going to hand the mics over to them and bow out for a little bit. I'll be back when you guys call my name.
All right.
Enjoy
Before you go,
talking-
real quick, I just want to you're right, absolutely right. At no point has ever an MCU movie been nominated for an Academy Award or Best Picture. So. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Except for last year.
Yeah,
What was
last
it?
year
What
that
was?
happened.
What was it?
Black Panther. Hello.
Oh, yeah, but no one
yeah.
really thought it deserved it.
People did.
I agree
It was
with
actually
that,
very good.
but people did think it deserved it for some reason.
Because it was a good movie.
Yeah.
All right, Jimmy, you're excused. Thank
Well,
you.
here you go. Have fun. See you guys.
Hey, Dave.
Hey,
All right.
what's up?
So, I'll be honest. It wasn't the perfect Spider-Man movie for me. It had two major flaws and it started right off the bat. The intro I loved how they had Whitney Houston "My Heart Will Go On" in memoriam for the old superheroes who died in Endgame, but it was such a forced synopsis or recap of everything that went on.
I loved it though because it was so shitty, and because it was done by high school students. They used Getty images and stuff.
But why would they be saying this? There was this school report that played at the beginning of each school day. So why are they telling all the
No,
kids
it wasn't.
there?
It wasn't
Yeah.
before each. I mean, the news thing, but they were saying, "Hey, our video class finally finished this tribute to Iron Man and the Avengers."
No, but that was the morning announcement type thing.
Yeah, they played shit like that in my obviously not.
I know,
the
but
superheroes,
why would they be telling the school a recap of what's happened since the snap or the blip they called it? It was forced. It wasn't a natural summary of the events of the past 5 years.
I mean, it was only the summary of events for the past 2 months since they came back.
Sure.
Well,
Well,
I felt like
was
it
forced.
fit perfectly. It was not forced at all.
We can agree. We can disagree on that one, but that's fine. We can move on. It was overall a great movie. My snap judgment was I loved it. It was you texted me like an asshole right after you saw it. It was like, oh, it's top 5 movie. And I was like, fuck you, Dave. I hate when you do this. You set expectations way too high. But I might agree with you.
Oh yeah, no. I love this movie. This is the movie that made me realize Tom Holland is the perfect Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Yes.
Because I think Tobey Maguire was great at being Peter Parker, not great at being Spider-Man. In the inverse of Andrew Garfield, he was good at the quippy Spider-Man, but his Peter Parker was this hipster cool kid. which isn't who Peter Parker is.
Agreed.
And Tom Holland finds the perfect balance between nerdy, awkward kid and quippy, super strong superhero.
Yeah, it's Tom Holland's great. It's very clear he's going to be the face of the franchise or the cinematic universe going forward, right?
Yes.
Even
Which
though
I like that they're like setting that up because Peter Parker can be that character for the MCU.
Even though
and
he's
Marvel.
only under contract for one more movie,
But I'm sure they're just going to renegotiate it.
and they have to. That was probably the original contract was just like in case he sucked. Probably.
The only movie I think that Tom Holland has been in since he got signed to be Spider-Man is like one, not really like fantasy movie that bombed, and everything else has been Disney movies. So he clearly has a good relationship.
Current War was filmed beforehand, right?
Yeah, that was filmed beforehand.
Okay, it's just finally coming out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he
Now,
has a
he's-
good relationship with Disney. He's in a ton of their stuff. He's in a animated movie next year. So he's very clearly happy with the company.
That's true. It always jars me when I see him in an interview when he's British.
Yeah, he does a Queen's accent really well.
It's jarring. Well, he is from England, right?
Yeah, he's from England. But
So
he
of course
does. No,
his accent's really well, you know?
I was saying he does a Queen's accent from
What's
New
a
York.
Queen's accent? Oh, well, you can't say that. When you say the Queen's accent, you're assuming it's fucking England. Like
You're a
Queen's
fucking
English?
moron.
No, if you say it's Queen's English, that means, or is it King's English?
Sorry, I'm just watching Jimmy laugh.
Yeah, he's laughing.
You're a fucking
Fuck
moron.
you guys. He's from England. You say he's got a Queen's accent. To me, that's okay. Whatever. You're right. No, he does a Queen's New York accent for sure. Whatever, Jimmy.
All right.
Fuck you. Okay, you just sitting there in the background laughing at me. It's nothing new. Okay.
Do you want to give a quick overview of the plot, and then we can call out our favorite moments, or?
Okay, sure. Yeah, he went on was a study abroad or the European trip they do in high school. He was supposed to go to all these different countries, and it was like really shittily booked. He was there. His big like goal was to tell MJ how much he loved her and how much he cared about her. He was going to buy her a Black Dahlia necklace, which is dark as fuck if you know Black Dahlia. And it all got disrupted because this guy, Jake Gyllenhaal, aka Mysterio, fucked everything up. Do you want me to keep going further? I mean, I could summarize the whole movie, but people are probably going to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no. All right. So yeah, Elementals came through a portal from another world. He and Mysterio team up, fight them. Afterwards, you find out they're holograms, and Mysterio has been playing a trick trying to get access to Tony Stark's satellite network. And so Spider-Man has to team up fighting Mysterio, or not team up. He has to fight Mysterio, and he doesn't know what's real.
You got duped, and you got it was. I mean, I get it. It was those projector images from Mysterio. Mm-hmm. It brought me right back to like Doctor Strange level like visuals, and I thought nothing will ever top Doctor Strange. And of course, like like the kind of like
oh yeah, no,
psychedelic,
for
like,
sure. I was about to say that the first time he fights Mysterio and he gets his ass handed to him, and it's that like 10-15 minute like just trippy sequence. That is in the top 3 coolest sequences of any film I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think because
Just like how they use visual effects and
because it was like the fake world of like any kind of like dream sequence you've ever seen in any movie, but then like he was slamming into like columns that weren't actually there because it was obviously in the real world he just couldn't see anything. That added that took it from a great scene to like an extra added element to be like amazing.
plus like the psychological ways that he was fucking with Peter, where
my
he would like grab MJ by the throat, hold her over the bridge, which is how Gwen Stacy dies in the comics and what happened in the first Tobey Maguire movie. And then one of the lines was Tony Stark would still be alive if you were better at your job.
Fair.
It was just a
Fair
fucking
point.
brutal sequence.
And then seeing it, did you see the slowed down like frames of the Iron Man coming out of the grave?
Yeah, it's terrifying.
He had the Tony Stark mustache and like
maggots crawling from the eyes.
They didn't hold back at all.
No, and I thought Jake Gyllenhaal was perfect as Mysterio in this movie.
It almost makes you upset that was a villain because he
Yeah, I liked him both times as Mysterio. Where like the first half where he's like pretending to be a hero, and I actually convinced myself a little bit. I was like, you know what? That's not how he is in the comics, but I like this way that they're going with Mysterio. He's great. Like, I love this relationship between them. And then as soon as that heel turn comes and he's just like this campy comic book villain, he plays it so well.
actually, I think you bring up a good point here. They did a great job of making us like Mysterio, who is a well-known world-class villain from the Spider-Man comics. And they still managed for us to be like, oh yeah, hey, this guy Jake or Quentin Buck or whatever, he's not bad. I like him. I like this. I like what he's doing here.
Oh yeah. Well, I think
that's tough to do.
The MCU doesn't follow like characters exactly, so there's like that little sliver of doubt that maybe they're gonna change him, and like it could be a multi-film arc where he becomes a villain. He started out actually a hero.
That'd be like watching Batman and be like, hey, this guy was his friend. You call him the Joker. Yeah, he's pretty cool, right?
I mean, it's kind of like how Loki was a straight villain in the first one and became like an anti-hero by Infinity War.
Well, yeah, but like that was a character progression from like it was a villain in the beginning.
That's what I'm
and
saying. This could be the opposite, where he wanted to be a hero. Because that's his arc in the comic books, where he wants to be a hero. In this movie, he wants to be seen as a hero.
You're absolutely right, but he yeah, no, that's a good point. But it's the character development was never like the arc wasn't there. It was all like a ruse, so it made sense from the beginning.
I agree with that. I just think I had allowed myself that sliver of doubt that maybe he will be like this hero who like everything just goes wrong and he becomes a villain.
Which is a credit to MCU for creating all these characters the way they do. Like you said, there's always a sliver of doubt. So
that speech where he gets up on the bar and he's thanking everyone and everyone's like, yeah, fuck Tony Stark.
That's another thing I hated. I didn't like that speech.
Why?
That was so fucking forced. That was just like the opening credits or with like the high school kids doing it. That was such a forced recap of how they got there.
I disagree because he was clearly like a throwback to like comic book cheesy villains. And that was an absolutely like a campy villain monologue.
I know you've been calling it campy as if it's like a good thing or like a home type feeling. It's to me that was out of character for MCU because they've always been so clever and it was an easy route for them to take.
I don't know, and especially when he's talking about how they made up the interdimensional travel and he's like, because that's just what people believe now, fucking idiots.
I know, yeah, that like one of those like giant revelations would have been cool, like placed in there, but it was just like, bam, this guy, that guy, that guy. These things happen all this way. It was just like, hey, we just succeeded. Everyone, we're all in the same boat. Let me just take a toast and explain to each and every one of you exactly how we got here in chronological timeline. It was weird. I wish they had like a little more nuanced way to summarize what happened.
Oh no, it's a comic book movie, man. You gotta we didn't take points off for in Endgame when all the women stood together and it was a super pandering shot. I'm not gonna take points off for them explaining the story.
No, I give them points for being nuanced and clever. This one was demerit points for them.
Okay, think you're being way too hard on it.
Well, we got to be critical, as like Jimmy likes to say, we'd be critical of them as in we would do every other movie. Right, Jimmy? Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Attaboy. Same page. He liked Spider-Man. Just not that well.
All right. Anything else you liked?
What didn't I like, other than those two items?
I really like this rendition of MJ.
Me too.
Because she's a lot closer to the comic book character, too.
Really? Because I always felt like the comic book character was, like, way more, not outgoing or, like, girly.
No, it's just been, like, the movies where she's, like, a damsel in distress. In the comics, she's a big, like, supporter of Peter Parker and of him being Spider-Man. She just doesn't want to be the damsel in distress. She wants to help out, which is what causes friction because she'll, like, put herself in harm's way.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, I never really liked the Spider-Man comics growing up, but I like the, cartoons, obviously, and the movies, but what I like most about MJ in this one is that she's more manly than Peter Parker, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And she's that, she's the kind of girl that I would have been, like in love with in high school.
Same.
It's kind of like rebel, witty as fuck kind of girl, you know?
Zendaya is just she's so good in the role. And did you see at all the press she dyed her hair MJ red
Oh,
for all
really?
the press? Yes. And it
Oh,
looks it looks great. So I hope she has that in the next movie.
She was probably trying to audition to be Ariel. That's too bad. She's got a really long neck. I was actually distracted by how long her neck was in a lot of the movie.
I didn't notice that at all.
You didn't notice it? I mean, it's honestly like 6 inches longer than a normal neck.
I doubt that's
Maybe
true.
because she's got a tiny little face or something. The proportions are way off. Google her.
I'm looking it up on my phone now.
Okay, I'm gonna do. I don't think I'm crazy here. I'm gonna say Zendaya long neck. Yeah, this is pops up in Google. Very long neck. See, she on her own Instagram, she calls herself the long neck legend.
Okay, I see that in some pictures.
Right?
I didn't notice it in the movie, but yeah, that's the long fucking neck.
Right? It's kind of crazy.
That thing's like 8 inches long.
It's stupid long. But I think it's because she's got a tiny head or something.
Maybe.
Proportions are off. It threw me off while I was watching it. It made me think like, that's weird. Nick Fury is a big point here. Actually, let's just talk about the whole post-credit scenes.
Both of them? Which one do you want to tackle first?
Okay, well, there's 3 items. First, what's his name? Blanking. What the fuck? Help me out.
Who are you talking about?
The guy, the great actor, the
Jake
reporter.
Gyllenhaal?
No.
Oh, J.K. Simmons
Yes, J.K. Simmons. Jay.
is back as J. Jonah Jameson.
Wonderful.
I love that they updated him to kind of like an InfoWars, like conspiracy theory. It's perfect for modern
No
age.
longer the shitty, like, floundering paper. He's, like, the shitty, like...
conspiracy site.
Yeah, but, like, those aren't floundering. All those are opposite. Those are the ones booming right now. So he's an influencer now. Because obviously he couldn't become a photographer for the Daily Bugle. He's still in high school, you know? You couldn't introduce that
Well,
aspect of
and
things
a lot
yet.
of like the recent comics and the video game, he doesn't work at the Daily Bugle. Like that was just a college job, and he's like a scientist, which is
Yeah.
what Peter Parker should be.
He's a smart guy. Obviously, they play that up in the Happy Hogan scenes when he's on the plane. Yeah, but just the fact that they just kind of abandoned that right away, maybe it was great. Also, crossing timelines of the Tobey Maguire series, just kind of like as a hat tip.
I love it.
J.K. Simmons was hands down the best character of those series.
For sure. And I was reading an interview with Kevin Feige where they asked, they're like, oh, did you consider like lots of people before deciding to go back? And he was like, no, there was never any other character or any other actor we considered for the role. If we couldn't get him, we were going to have a different, like it wasn't going to be J. Jonah Jameson in that scene.
Yeah, absolutely nobody can yell like him.
It was perfect. And
It
I
was a
also
gift.
like, because for those of you who didn't stay for the post-credit scene or don't remember it, they
don't
revealed
get it.
that Peter Parker is Spider-Man in some doctored footage from Mysterio. He leaked to J. Jonah Jameson. I like this for 2 reasons, because I think it's enough that, like, it's a conspiracy site, so most people will probably be like, that's probably not true. But it's enough that it'll still turn Spider-Man into, like, the menace of New York and have, like, criminals after him more.
Well, it certainly puts all of his plans in like jeopardy. He can't go back to school. Aunt May's in danger, so like it throws everything in the fire.
That's what
I think
there's-
is going to happen though is he's going to go into Tony Stark's penthouse or his home wherever he is now.
Well, I think there's 2 ways they could handle it. One is that it's a conspiracy site, so most people don't believe it, but it's still like popular and it's still causing problems for himself.
That's out of the bottle, man.
Or in the second post-credit scene, we're shown Talos is still around, which we'll talk about. But it's very Talos, the Skrull. It's very easy for him to morph and look like Peter Parker and have the actual Peter as Spider-Man in the same place. So you can see them both there, and you'd be like, well, clearly he's not actually Spider-Man.
Ooh, that's a great point.
Which
there.
I like, because then it discredits J. Jonah Jameson, which gives him more of a reason to hate Spider-Man, and he was actually right.
And that's a really quick like fix. You just have to be on camera.
Yeah.
It's awesome. That's so simple, and it has to be what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's the only reason I could think that they would have Talos in this movie.
I mean, it was. Yeah, no, I mean, well, they introduced Talos like literally last year, so it was a good time to bring him back. It kind of threw the timeline. Some people think that Sam Jackson has been actually Talos the whole time, which is bullshit.
He's
That's-
not. They came out and said he's only Talos for this movie.
Yeah. That brings in other questions of what or Nick Fury is doing like up there. How about what's her face? Robin Sparkles.
Well, yeah, for two things really quick. I think Samuel L. Jackson isn't getting enough credit for him acting in this movie because the entire movie I thought like something's up with Nick Fury. Like he didn't act like Nick Fury in other movies, so I thought, wow, the direction was either really shit or something's up. Mm-hmm. So he was playing what's the thing from Tropic Thunder? He was playing a dude acting as another dude.
Yep.
And it was I butchered that quote.
You did. I'm the dude playing a dude dressed like another dude or something shit like that, you know.
Something like
There's
that.
3 dudes, but 3.
Yes.
I thought he was off just because, you know, he just came back from dusting. He failed magnificently with the Endgame Infinity War timeline. He's coming off 2 huge L's. And he died. He dusted. So I mean that's going to screw with anybody's psyche.
Well, and there's a couple of things throughout the movie where there's a quick cut to them talking at one point, and they're talking about the Kree, Kree sleeper cells. And then in the beginning, when he's introducing Spider-Man to Mysterio, he mentioned, oh, he's from an Earth, but not your Earth. He doesn't say our Earth.
Yep. But I mean that to me was Nick Fury being classical like him.
Wait,
Like,
yeah, it could go either way, but it makes sense now in hindsight.
yeah, and the whole Kree conversation was like I thought that was baiting for like future movies to throw back to. Mm-hmm. Just implanting a little scene so they
But
can
it
throw back.
also makes sense that Talos would be concerned about that.
Oh, of course. It makes all sense to roll it right now.
And so, do you think the last scene of Sam Jackson on the Skrull ship is setting up Sword?
Yes.
It's got to be, right?
Sword is the shield for extraterrestrials outside of Earth, correct?
Yeah, it's like the shield for the galaxy, not just
Yep.
Earth.
I think it's actually more along the lines of Tony Stark's like wish, which is a shield of armor around the Earth, a suit of armor around there. I think that's what his goal is, because Sam Jackson could give a fuck about the galaxy. He's concerned about Earth. That's what his.
Well,
thing is.
I disagree. If he's known about aliens since the 90s, and he's clearly become good friends with Talos in that time,
But he's using them to protect like Earth.
but I think
He's
cares
aware-
about, he cares about them now too.
Of course, yeah, and he's harboring them on Earth because they didn't have a home. So I mean, he's concerned about the galaxy and things going up there in the sense that like he doesn't want them coming through his front door. So he's building a front door that can't be kicked in. That's what my theory.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
think
just
a lot-
like comics Sword.
Yeah, I think he's trying to build a force field around the world, and it
Which
won't work.
Sword will also make sense if they're going to take like 5-10 years to build to the next Avengers, because this will be like the peacekeeping for the galaxy if there's no Avengers, which like they can be the outposts for Captain Marvel to go to and like have contact with people. They can like monitor all the galaxy threats until Avengers come back.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, if they start going full space route, I might be out a little bit on the MCU.
Well, they've said that's what they're doing for years for Phase 4
I know,
on.
but entirely like removing from Earth,
Not entirely, but they said it's like where all the focus is.
which is crazy.
You're still going to get like Spider-Man and like Doctor
Which
Strange.
we need that. We need like, yeah. I need to go to anchor back to Earth because it's like, you know, it's somewhat loosely, crazily based in reality. It's like if I can see the scenes, the settings, and like understand, oh, that's New York. Oh, that's like, you know, downtown. That makes sense to me. I love Guardians of the Galaxy, but I'm just like,
Between
doesn't interest me
Guardians
nearly
and
as
Thor
much.
Ragnarok, those are the movies I care about going forward.
I know, but they're just like not nearly as like entertained to me as, you know, Iron Man, Captain America, like World War II type shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wakanda, we still have so much Wakanda to look at.
Yeah.
We're
that's
still
gonna be a
promised
big
2 more
reason why
Black Panthers.
Black Panther in space.
No, we can't have Black Panther in space.
I think he joined the Guardians in the comics for a run.
That's stupid. I want
I mean,
Shuri.
the
I
comics
want
are
Shuri.
stupid at times.
I want Black Panther, Shuri with Doctor Strange and Spider-Man and Give me, Professor Hulk in the background, sure. Falcon
And
we'll deal
Ant-Man.
with. Ant-Man, of course, we need Ant-Man. We're promised one more Ant-Man movie. And then with Thor popping in every now and then to get his beers. It's just, give me that stuff. I don't care about, the Galactica or whatever. I do care about, what's his name? The golden kid. The one that, at the end credits of Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, Adam Warlock.
Yes, I do care about that guy.
Yes.
I'm really excited to see him come out.
Yeah, no, he's apparently debuting in Guardians 3.
Yeah, looking forward to that. All right. Do you want to get into reviews? We covered everything?
Ratings? Yeah, I think we covered basic thoughts
Yeah.
on the movie.
No, that was just initial reactions. You want to review it now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, ratings. Let's go with critical first. Do you want to go?
Sure, I have this at an 89. I told you I really liked the movie. And this actually knocked Endgame out of my top 5 MCUs, and it's in the number 5 slot now.
Okay. I don't offhand. I can't remember my top 5 MCUs, but this one is for sure in the top 5, just because of how, for just entertainment factor alone, because I was gripped by it the entire time. This one for me, critical. I'm going to go with 82.
Not bad.
I held those shitty recaps pretty heavily against them because I know they're better than that, and it was sloppy, and I know it was like you said, it was a campy superhero movie, but they got to be better than that. Everything else is great, but I mean those are two substantial moments of let's rush this recap.
I mean, they fit perfectly in the universe, so I don't know what more you can ask for there.
A little more nuance. That's what I'd ask for. And the focal wrecking was a mess.
No, it was fantastic in the fantasy scenes.
All right, so let's go on to Popcorns, which is just straight up entertainment value.
That's got to be a 1, right?
No, of course not, man. We're gonna go with a rare 6.
6? I would give it a 6. If we
The only
could,
ones
but I
who've
think
earned
Shane
6
might have an aneurysm, or not Shane. Jimmy might have an aneurysm. If
The only ones that have ever earned 6 are Spider-Man: Far From Home and Mission Impossible.
2 of the best movies we've ever seen.
Yeah. So an even 5. So I don't know the offhand calculator. What's it? 82 plus 89. Oh,
Great
frozen.
radio.
Yeah, plus 89 equals
It's 86.
86. 85.5, so rounds to 86%. That's fair, I feel.
All right, Rotten Tomatoes. What do you think this is critically?
Critically, 93.
It's a 90. Audience score?
99?
96.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because people love this shit.
Oh yeah, this was great. This was exactly. I think this was also we didn't talk about it in the review, but this was a perfect epilogue to Phase 3 after Endgame and everything. It's like a nice little palate cleanser, and I saw somebody on Reddit pointed out that the first movie, Iron Man, ends with Tony Stark revealing himself to the world, and this movie ends with Spider-Man getting revealed to the world. So it's come full circle. The next Tony Stark's revealed.
True. I like that. All right, so Jimmy, you want to come back in on here? You want to say hello?
Is he muted?
You want to take us out here?
What did you guys? I heard. Hello. Sorry, I was only talking into one mic. I heard 5s across the board for popcorn.
Yep.
Sheehan with an 82.
I had an 89, so average to an 86.
85.5.
So what did this beat Into the Universe or whatever? The last Spider-Man.
Well, it wasn't the same.
That was
Wasn't the same.
well, yeah, but it's Spider-Man. 4.5, 87, and this is a 5, 87.
86.
86.
Wow, just below.
I rated this lower though. I rated this lower than I did.
So did I.
So for anyone listening at home and you want to
You
know,
rated this the same.
Me? 82?
Yeah, 82 is what you gave it the first time. I gave Into Spider-Verse and 92.
Dude, you said
86.
Spider-Man Homecoming? Jesus.
We have one other thing that is 86. It's Get Shorty, which was a show that Sheehan and I did. Oh, and American Criminals was 86.
That was American
was-
Criminals.
American Animal.
Animals.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck did we review?
They were criminals, which would have been a
Yes.
bit more, let's see. We got a lot
They
of
were
87s.
animals.
This is a very popular Green Book, Darkest Hour, Blade Runner, a lot of 87s, a lot of 85s, Avengers. You guys have this above Avengers. Do you agree with that? Infinity War.
I
Infinity
agree
War,
with that.
yes. Endgame, no.
Okay. Do you agree with that, Dave?
I said this beat out Endgame for my top.
And you have it above
yeah, 88.
Us. You agree with that? Above Us?
Yes.
Definitely.
And Tully?
Yes.
And I, Tanya?
Where the hell is...
Yeah, I suppose.
Where is it?
You gave I, Tanya a 90, yeah.
Fuck, sorry. I gave Italian a 90.
All right. Well, there you go. That ends it. Hey, anyone listening, if you enjoyed that and you heard a little bit about the other scores, we have a back catalog of how many movies do we have now?
83?
88. This was our 88th movie or show reviewed. So go check out the back catalog. Listen to all of that. Go follow us on Go follow us on Six Pack
Whoa!
Cinema Instagram, Six Pack Cinema
Ouch.
Twitter, Six Pack Cinema Facebook, Six Pack Cinema YouTube. Follow us everywhere. And thanks for listening. We'll see you later.
Love y'all.